Okay, good morning. It is just past 6 o'clock in the AM on Wednesday, June 13th, I believe, 2018, in the lunar cycle Opistishkitsatos, the flower moon. And I am starting off my morning with a skunk relocation from a residence in the south side of Lethbridge. And I have a feeling it's going to be a busy day, snakes and otherwise. We'll see, but that's the sense that I've got this morning, and we're starting it off early with the skunk. Peek. Still in there, buddy. Nobody in there. Nobody's there. Huh. So I don't know if an animal was actually in there and got out. I doubt it. Not quite sure what to think. All right, so I talked to the homeowner from where I went to go pick up the trap this morning, and he said there was definitely a skunk in there last night. It was past 11 o'clock when he messaged me, and I had already crashed out for the night, so I didn't hear his message. But he said that the skunk had its head and part of its body out of that little, like, 2-inch diameter viewing hole that well, what I use is a viewing hole. Originally it was built, whoever built the trap had built that as an avenue for putting in a hose to gas the animals and euthanize them. But I use it just to look in and see what's in there. But he said the skunk was partly, like a third of his body was out of that hole, which means this had to be a very small skunk, like one of the babies. And any case, it was definitely there last night, wasn't there this morning, which means that's the first skunk that's ever escaped from one of my traps that I know of anyway. So I went and put the trap back out there again, and we'll see what happens. That trap's been at his place a couple of weeks, and this is the first real skunk hit we've had, so I don't have a lot of confidence that we're gonna catch anybody from there. In the meantime, it's about 10 o'clock now, and I've got word of another magpie fledgling. It's in somebody's house, and they don't know how to care for the magpies, so hasn't eaten, hasn't drank anything, and it's in rough shape. It's kind of over by the area of those apartments where I picked up the magpie fledglings the other day, so could be, I'll find out the story when we get there, I guess, could be one of the babies from that brood. And then I got another call from somebody that has a raccoon family in their chimney. So probably later, late afternoon, early evening, I'm gonna go scope that out. I don't think I'll do the eviction today, but I'll at least look at it and maybe arrange tomorrow. Me and my friend Brian can probably double team it again and get them out of there. So that's what's going on so far. Just en route to get that magpie fledgling now.
So a jogger found her last night. She was hopping around on the ground, and the jogger watched her for a little bit, and then 2 adult magpies came and started attacking her, and so they grabbed her up or shooed away the adults, and then watched for a little while longer, and then the 2 adults came back and started attacking her again. So she grabbed the baby, brought it home, and then they called us to come and get her. They've been calling her Maggie the magpie. So she will go home and hang out with the other baby that we got, and we'll get her fed and get her some water, and she looks pretty good.
Yeah, she looks pretty healthy.
And clear, and
she's alert.
Yeah, she's very alert. She's of course upset to being held. Doesn't want to be held. Little stinky.
She's probably not been eating well.
Yeah,
you know?
she probably hasn't been eating and is a little dehydrated, so she'll need some food and water. And yeah, and then she'll, when we release the other one, she'll be able to be released too, and Maggie can go on her way.
Unfortunately, shortly after I turned off the camera in the car, that little magpie bird started shocking out, or at least exhibiting symptoms that I relate to birds going into shock, meaning a lot of hyperventilation, closing the eyes, throwing the head back, and usually that's a really bad sign. Often death follows. So we got her home. I got one piece of kibble in her stomach. That probably wasn't the best idea, but I don't know. So I got one piece of kibble, then I dribbled some water in her mouth. She swallowed it down. I kept dribbling some water, trying to get her hydrated at least, and then figured I'd leave the house for an hour. And it's really a toss of the dice whether she's going to be alive when I return. We'll see. I hope so, because she looked, clear-eyed and alert when we picked her up. But man, she was going into shock. And usually magpie fledglings and crow fledglings, when you handle them, they don't go into shock like a lot of other birds do. So there's probably some internal injuries she's dealing with. I don't know. Any case, to kill an hour, I came out here to Cottonwood Park, went to go visit Mandy's den. Mandy wasn't there, but one of her roommates was, and it means that roommate's most likely pregnant. It looks like a big female, and she's probably going to use that site as her rookery. So we should see neonate baby rattlesnakes perhaps toward the end of the season at Maggie's den. We'll keep an eye on that. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but in my footage of the den, you can see two egg sacs up in the webwork. And you can see two egg sacs up in the webwork. That is black widow eggs, hey? And it's pretty common for the black widows to make use of the rattlesnake hibernacula openings, the openings to their winter dens. As soon as they vacate, you know, for the winter, the widows move in and set up their webs and mate and lay eggs. So the egg sacs are there. The mothers are there too. They're in the hole somewhere. I don't know. I haven't looked at my footage. They might have come out while I was gone. I was only gone for 20 minutes though, so probably not. Although when I was walking around, I did find another hole with a magpie egg sac, and I kind of used a little piece of blade of grass just to kind of barely tickle the web work. And so Mama came forth from behind and grabbed onto her eggs. She wrapped herself around them from behind, and I took a photo with my camera. I don't know whether you'll be able to see, well, I know you won't be able to see Mama clearly, but you might be able to notice her legs wrapped around the egg sac. That's one egg sac you don't want to touch. But yeah, not a lot of people know it. We got a lot of black widows out here. Pretty much every badger hole and rattlesnake den has some black widow mama set up there with eggs. Anyway, I'm gonna go back to the house. We're gonna check on the magpie fledglings, and then I got to go to a grade school, do a little snake presentation, and we'll see what comes next. All right, this is the status of the little one that we picked up this morning now that I'm back home from the coulee. And obviously this is not good. You can see the healthy baby from the other day, the one that's doing good. This is normal behavior. This is probably has some internal injuries, maybe brain damage from being pecked by other birds, maybe shocking out. I've been trying to give it a little bit of water, just drips in the beak to kind of keep her hydrated. Yeah, but when a bird looks this bad as a fledgling, that's a really, really delicate situation, especially anytime, even an adult that look like this, you're going toward the dark end. But a fledgling especially, they're so delicate that this is not really good news, but we're going to try to keep her going. She can still pull out of it. Yeah, open that eye. Open that eye. Hello. Hello. Yeah, she's in there. She's in there. She's going to want to come out. It's now 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The little magpie baby that was shocking out earlier has passed away, like I thought she was going to. You know, I did what I could for her, but they're just so delicate, you know. I went over to the south side. I taught a class, did a little rattlesnake presentation for middle school, and brought one of my pet snakes along with for the entertainment value, and you know, learning that snakes aren't something necessarily to be feared. And now I'm on my way over to Canyon Estates because there is a rattlesnake that one of the residents has trapped in a bucket. So I'm gonna go pick up the rattlesnake and take it back where it needs to be. Good, how are you?
Really good, thank you.
Hey!
Hey!
I didn't know she was even anymore.
Oh, you know, sometimes.
Man after my own heart.
I don't drive with shoes most of the time. Oh yeah, just a little girl.
She's not even mad.
She was, no, she was mad when I sprayed her with water by accident.
Oh, I bet.
She was right behind the bear, and I'm cleaning out the garage, and I thought it was leaves or something, Ryan.
Yeah.
I gave it a spray, and it didn't move. So,
Yeah, I bet that upset her.
Yeah. But I'm geared up, man.
Yeah, I see that. That's good.
Can I take a video?
Yeah, sure.
Ready? See if I can get this to open.
This is quite a good deal.
Yeah, it's my new transport case.
Much more snake friendly in a sense.
Yeah, they're much more comfortable, and then public is safe because I can lock them up and open this window so people can look at them instead
I see.
instead of
Fantastic.
this. But
Sorry, Patty.
but with kids, with kids it's good to have them.
That's part of the deal, isn't it? Education.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you don't even have anybody else in there.
No, not at the moment.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was just at a middle school on the south side of town, and I had a bull snake in here, so I had to go drop him off.
Okay.
Run back over here. Well, I have other means.
He's a good looking snake.
If I didn't know this one was already in the bucket. Yeah, she's nice.
Just a young snake?
Yeah.
She's not very big, is she?
No, she's probably her 3rd year.
Yeah, she's a beaut.
Yeah, so just a young female, probably a 3rd year female, this one. And I was kind of excited at first because she's not too much bigger and very similarly marked as Mandy. She's got the same kind of, one of the same kind of pattern break designs, but she's a little bit older than Mandy and a little bit more rattles than Mandy would have right now. When I left her, she barely had 2 buttons. So we'll check the photo database and see if I know who this is from a previous pickup. Probably not though, given that it's a young snake, but you never know. Ready to come out? You got to get on the hook to come out. You can't resist the hook. There we go. There we go. Look at the camera. Pretty snake, pretty snake. All right. Enjoy your evening. I'm gonna go home and have a barbecue. Little campfire in the backyard, I think. Cook some smokies.
Feels like, okay, no, it's still here, we still have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Can you just hope at the end we all end up like Bruno Mars? We all look like Bruno Mars. And everybody's happy because no one knows what anybody is.
Yeah. All right, it's now minutes away from 7 o'clock in the PM, and those were pretty good smokies. Didn't take long to cook. I had a good bed of coals going there. Mahoney and Sheen are still tending the fire. It'll probably still going on when I get back. But I'm on my way to Canyon Crest Point because somebody has a rattlesnake in their lawn. So I'm going to go over there and take care of that. So where's your snake?
I'm Robert.
Hey, Robert.
Snake is right there.
Just over there? Oh yeah, there he is.
Are you okay with me videotaping?
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to get this on video
For sure.
because this is like a rare occurrence. So it's just coiled up down there.
Yeah, I see her. I see her there. Oh yeah. Yeah.
So do you work with, is it Ryan?
I'm Ryan.
Oh, you are Ryan.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have to ask, is that the new catcher thing you got?
It is.
I actually helped where I contributed
Oh,
to that.
right on. Thank
Yeah,
you.
so,
one day this
but
is gonna happen.
I said to,
I'll tell you a
because
secret.
Yeah, well, a friend of ours shared the post and I said to PJ, oh, we got to donate to this because like that's where we live. And yeah, so.
Yeah, I'll tell you a secret that I wasn't supposed to tell online.
Yeah, I thought it was, a good cause when I read how it stressed them out and
Oh yeah.
like,
Yeah, this is a way better assembly. You know, when kids are around and stuff, it's way safer because I can open the little viewing window for them to look in. And
well, and when we first saw him, he was closer to the mailbox, and I was like, I didn't know which way he was going to go, like to the park, but he just followed him here. And
this is a female snake.
is it? How can you tell?
From her color.
Okay.
Like the females are more kind of greenish and darker,
Okay.
and a male will be much more bright yellowish color.
And is that a good size for a?
Yeah, this is a mature female. So this is an adult snake. See, pretty much have to touch them to get them to strike.
The rattler.
Yeah, that's a nice little container.
Yeah, it's a nice setup, and check this out. So, yeah, I can just open this up for people to look in.
Oh, cool.
And if there's kids around, I can just lock this up. I have a lock on it and everything.
Oh, you can really hear it.
Yeah.
You can actually see that rattle going down.
That is so cool. That's much better than the tail that you were saying.
Way better, yeah. Okay, so this is a mature female snake. She's not very happy. And I've kind of brought her halfway between Riverstone and the canyons where I picked her up, to the kind of the South Riverstone Den area. I'm gonna take a picture of her. I'm not sure if I've seen her before or not, but before I put up this video, I'll check it out, and so I'll be able to let you know. All right, take a photo.